that matter for the town of Malta. There you go. Back. She fixed it.
It's on a timer.
She's a whiz. Anybody choose to speak on that matter this evening? Then I will close the public hearing at 6:05. Next, I'll ask you to stand if you are able to salute the flag and a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Before we get started, I want to take a second to welcome our two new town board members, Alex Friedman and Don D'Onofrio. Thank you guys for stepping up, and congratulations on your first meeting. First order of business is to accept the minutes of the town clerk for our 12/22/25 meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Comments from town residents? Anybody choose to speak? There will be another opportunity at the end of the meeting for public comment. So if something comes up during the meeting you want to discuss, then feel free to step up to the podium at the end of the meeting. Comments from town board and department heads. Generally, if you've been attending the meetings, at our town board meeting, our business meeting, we honor a resident of the month. This month, I chose to take a different path, and we're going to honor someone who was very influential in the town of Malta and left us recently, and that is Lyle DeVore. While Lyle was not a resident of Malta, his influence on our culture and the spirit of Malta was undeniable. Through his work, his leadership, and his generosity, he became woven into the fabric of our community. Malta felt his presence, benefited from his vision, and was better because of him. Lyle's love for racing began early, when he was just 8 years old. Like so many great stories, it started simply. A young kid showing up at the track, not looking for any attention or glory, but looking for a way to help. That curiosity and willingness to pitch in never left him. It grew into a lifelong passion that shaped not only his career, but an entire racing community. As the operator and promoter of the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, Lyle poured his heart into the sport. His dedication, innovation, and deep respect for racers and fans alike helped make the Speedway one of the most successful dirt tracks in the country. Because of Lyle, the Albany-Saratoga Speedway became a destination, drawing fans from all over the Northeast and setting a standard for excellence in racing promotion. His peers recognized what so many already knew. Lyle was inducted into the Northeast Dirt Modified Hall of Fame in 2024, a testament to the lasting mark he left on the sport. In 2022, he was selected by his fellow promoters as Auto Racing Promoter of the Year. That's actually a nationwide honor, an honor that reflected not only his success, but the respect he earned through integrity, hard work, and the genuine love of racing. But Lyle's legacy goes beyond trophies and titles. He was a true community partner, someone who understood the power of his platform and used it to lift others up. He supported local organizations, charities, and causes, often quietly, always sincerely. He believed that success meant little if it wasn't shared. Lyle DeVore leaves behind a legacy of passion, generosity, and leadership. He showed us what it means to love something deeply, to work for it tirelessly, and to give back whenever possible. His influence will continue to be felt in the roar of the engines, the cheers of the fan, and the community he helped strengthen. He will be deeply missed, but never forgotten. So those of you who didn't know Lyle, he was
Thank you,
an
Cynthia.
impact. Yep.
One thing that people don't know about Lyle is he held a lot of
Yep.
fundraisers for cancer and other issues that people didn't even hear about. And one community fundraiser that I had up there, we raised about 10,000 for the Albany Children's Cancer, and you know what? He backed us 100%. He's just a great guy, and that event is when I found out that he had cancer. And you know what? He was just always positive. He never dwelled on it. I says, "How you doing?" He says, "Oh, I'm doing good. I'm here." You know, and just say it with a smile. It was a long battle for him. Thank you, Lyle.
I also want to take the opportunity to mention another member of the town family that we lost recently at 105 years old. Nellie Dool died on New Year's Eve. She was a lifelong resident of the town of Malta, and she and her family were influential in the shaping of our town. So those are kind of the sad notes for this Happy New Year. The only other thing that I have that I want to mention is we have received the report regarding the Silver Beach Road Colomer drainage issues down there. I would like to propose, if this board agrees, to have a brief workshop before our next meeting regarding that, a presentation from Labella about the results and the findings and their recommendations. So that would be on the 26th of January. I don't think we need a long time. Is a half an hour enough, Joe, you think? So I'll propose that we meet at 5:30 before our meeting for a workshop regarding Silver Beach Road, if that's amenable to the rest of the board.
That's on the 26th.
26th. That's
I don't
all.
have any problem with it.
That's all I have. Any of my other colleagues have anything to remark on? Okay, well, we start tonight then with our organizational meeting. We have a number of resolutions for our annual organizational meeting. I will read through those resolutions, and if any of the board members would like any of those to be removed and voted on separately, say so, we'll remove them and vote them separately. Otherwise, we'll vote on them all as a block. There is one minor revision to the resolution appointing the town supervisor as budget officer. The year should be noted as 2026, not 2025.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. One of our newest council members caught it. He's now the company proofreader. So the resolutions are as follows. The first one is to authorize a blanket undertaking, which is a liability policy that protects the town of Malta officers that's required by law. And that is for 2026 in the amount of $1 million and $2 million, and we'll file proof as required by law. Set the town hall department hours, just briefly. Most of the offices, the building department, the assessor's office, the town clerk's office, are all open to the public and operating between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., except for the months of July 1st to August 31st, then it's 8 to 4. The town parks and rec, the community center is open from 8:30 to 8 p.m., 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., 9:30 to 12 on Saturdays, closed Sundays. The water department is open to the public from 8:30 to 1 and 3 to 4:30. Next resolution is we adopt a holiday schedule. There were several holidays that we recognize. Another resolution is to authorize the supervisor to execute certain contracts, basically the routine contracts that we see year after year. They're reviewed by the attorney. Appoint the supervisor as budget officer. Again, that's the one that's 2026, not 2025. Set regular town board meeting dates. We meet generally the first Monday and the last Monday of each month, except as advertised that they change because of holidays or conflicts. Name the official town newspaper, that is the Daily Gazette. We authorize 2 town newsletters per year. We waive the town building use fee for the Ballston Spa School District for any budget workshops they want to do or voting. They vote here in Town Hall, so they don't have to pay the rental fee. We direct our town comptroller to perform annual accounting of all of the departments that handle cash, and she does that routinely. We have an investment policy, and then we designate various depositories. All of these resolutions are available to the public, so you can see what those depositories are and who has authorization to be able to sign checks. We have an amended procurement policy. We have a policy that determines who can buy what and how they can purchase said things. Make sure I'm not skipping any. Authorize the highway superintendent to purchase surplus state property. We authorize the highway superintendent to purchase equipment. Both of these are subject to the constraints of the budget that the town board adopted. We authorize the the town superintendent of highways to sell surplus equipment through public auction. These are some appointments. We want to, again, reappoint Julia Smith as the town comptroller, Stephen Gottman as the town attorney, Tom Williams as the town historian, Raylyn Dussault as the town assessor. There's an appointment of Jennifer Holmes as the registrar of vital records. We'll be having a new deputy supervisor this year. I have selected Peter Shaw to act as deputy supervisor. He's not here tonight because he's out visiting his brand new grandbaby, so we'll give him a little excuse for that. She was born a couple days ago. Couple of committees. We will appoint town webmasters. That will be Jennifer Holmes and Melissa Briggs. The appointments to the Board of Health. This board acts as the Town of Malta Town Board of Health. And we have a confidential policy with Global Foundries. As you know, we have the Global Foundries is a business here in town, and there are several people that are named as confidential authorized personnel for Global Foundries. We designate stormwater management officers. Those are Floria Heisinger and Adrian Cattell. We have an Americans with Disabilities Act coordinator. That is Greg Berg. We have a representative on the Ballston Area Recreation Commission, and that is Gary Priest. We have reappointments to the Zoning Board of Appeals. The guy Severa has agreed to serve again. Warren Cressman will serve as chair. We're reappointing Jean Lowenstein and Stephen Grandow to the Planning Board, and John Viola and Jean Lowenstein will be co-chairs. We have 2 ad hoc members from to the Malta Planning Board. These are Stillwater residents that will act as ad hoc members to our planning board in the event that we have planning matters that involve LFTC, because that campus spans both borders, the town of Stillwater and the town of Malta. We also ask that John Viola and Jean Lowenstein be added as ad hoc members to the town of Stillwater Planning Board. Next, we have various volunteer committees, and I want to take a minute to thank all of the volunteers that have agreed to serve on these committees. We have various appointments to the Community Day Committee, the Malta Youth Commission. We have a Luther Forest Technology Campus Community Response Board, that there are various volunteers. We have a Union Labor Management Committee in the event that we have a union labor management dispute. We have a Historic Preservation Review Commission that there are various appointments made to. We have a Media and Website Committee that there are various appointments to. We have a Climate Smart Task Force. There are appointments to that. We are appointing members to Malta's Lake Park Improvement Committee. That's the former Mangino's Restaurant. We have an Ethics Committee that we're just reappointing current members to. A Records Advisory Board, that there are appointments to. The Women's Round Lake Improvement Society Library Associate Trustees, we're reappointing a member whose term expired. Appointments to the Stormwater Management Committee. We have a Community Emergency Response Team that we're reappointing the members to. We have an Emergency Management Committee that we're reappointing those members to. And we have a Multicultural Arts Festival Committee that has reappointments. Next, we are approving the 2026, the title on the agenda here is wrong. Approve the 2026 Highway Superintendent 284 Agreement. The 284 agreement is an agreement between the town board of the town of Malta and the highway superintendent to perform certain road work activities as per our budget. Then we have several routine contracts that we enter into every year. HelpCo is our IT company. GAR Associates helps us with our assessment processes. We have a special counsel for code enforcement and dog violations. It's Bartlett, Pontiff, Stewart, and Rhodes. We have special counsel for, two special counsel actually for assessment services, Vinciletti Law Firm and Hacker and Murphy. We have special counsel for our planning and zoning services. That's Miller, Mannix, Schachner, and Hafner. And then we have two engineering contracts, one with Labella Associates, two Labella contracts. One is Labella Associates. Labella Associates is our town designated engineer. Labella also provides inspection services for Global Foundries. We have on-site code enforcement inspection, and those are provided in association with Labella. And then we have another agreement for engineering services with Swazo, Doty, and Associates. Are any of those resolutions, do any board members want any of those resolutions to be acted on separately?
I have no problem with them.
Everybody good?
Yep.
Then I will entertain a motion to accept all of the organizational meeting resolutions.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So we'll entertain a motion to close the organizational meeting.
So move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Next, I will convene the 2026 Board of Health meeting. And Dr. Buckley? Dr. Buckley has a message for us.
I always heard that when you give a speech, because I'm not good at it, you stand up to get seen and you speak up to be heard and then you sit down to be appreciated. So we'll do that. But basically,
I can move.
Into the mic more.
that's probably better if it's not on. Saratoga County is way up there in county health rankings. We do a very good job in medical, dental, mental health facilities, and we have a lot of services available, social services, a pretty good income level for most people. But our health statistics, even though they're better than the state, have stagnated and have not actually improved over the last few years. These are mostly issues of lifestyle, smoking, drinking, drugs, accidents on the roads, which all require complicated approaches too. They're not easy fixes and requires a lot of different folks involved. So what can the town do about that? You know, it's something I've been dealing with for many years when I go into a home I've been called to, that it's kind of helter-skelter how we deal with people in terms of getting them the resources they need, particularly with the elderly. I'm in there and we've got bad conditions, hoarding. They can't take care of themselves anymore. And we kind of don't have any clear person in any of the towns. Now, I have 4 towns because nobody wants to do this job, okay? And we don't have any clear pathway to how we access services for these people. So what I'm proposing is perhaps each town should look at, how can we do this better? Should we have somebody in town hall who takes the concerns that are called in and calls in the right people, or has a list of appropriate resources to give out? I know EMS and animal control are quick to call when they need me or need other services, because they're in those homes a lot. In Round Lake, if you don't pick up your mail from the post office, they know it. And they call somebody, a neighbor or a friend or whatever. So because we're still a small enough community, I'm hoping we can, every department in the town can look at themselves and say, all right, let's talk about this. What can we do better? So if you're driving by as a snowplow guy and you see that somebody hasn't had their driveway plowed, maybe you should check with a neighbor or knock on the door to see if they're okay. That sort of thing. It makes a world of difference if we can get in there soon. The one other thing, which is not related to that topic, is the jewels in the crown of a town are your public spaces, your trails, your parks, your recreation areas. I think we need to continue to develop those resources. They are what makes a town worth living in. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Dr. Buckley.
Like I said, short and sweet.
Thank you.
I will entertain a motion to close the Board of Health, the 2026 Board of Health meeting.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we will open now our business meeting. We do have one discussion item, and that is a request by the Michaels Group. So, Mr. Michaels, I'll let you.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Luke Michaels, Michaels Group Homes. Here to speak about Mountain View Meadows subdivision that we have completed work on. Unfortunately, we missed a deadline to be able to submit and apply for a full road dedication to the town this year. Town code states you can only accept the road between November 1st and April 1st. So obviously we're past that time, but we did the other day receive a letter, or the town received a letter from the town designated engineer confirming that all of our reports are in, inspections, all of our paperwork is in, and everything's in good shape. We are waiting on 2 things for full dedication, and that'd be the okay by the highway superintendent and establishing the letter of credit amount. And that's memorialized in their letter. So once we have those, we can make a full application for dedication to the town board. My hope is that we can do that on April 6th, which will be past that November to April deadline. But however, in the meantime, in discussions with the TDE and the town, we thought it would be appropriate to ask for a waiver for building permits at the site. Not the entire amount. There's 75 lots to be able to build on right now. Obviously, we can't apply for 75 right now before April and start building them. But in the case that we can get some work started on some new homes out there, We are allowed one building permit for a model home before the road's dedicated. So that is actually in the works. It's not to the town yet, but it should be there soon. So in the meantime, we wanted to ask for a waiver to be able to attain 10 building permits between now and April before we come back for full dedication for all 75 lots. Will we be able to even start 10 homes by then? I mean, it's January right now. By the time we get these plans drawn, submitted, all that, possibly, but we thought 10 would be a nice round number. So that would be our request for a waiver to the board. And I can answer any questions.
I mean, one of the things that I'm not sure was made clear just from my colleagues and the audience is our town code says that until the road is dedicated, they're only allowed the one building permit for the model home. So what he's asking is that this board waive that. I did speak with the highway superintendent today. He has indicated to me that within the next, few days or week, that he will make a final determination about whether or not he's satisfied that the road is complete to his satisfaction. As Mr. Michael said, our town designated engineer has certified that the road is complete and built to the town standards. So, any board members have any other questions?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. This is the project that's off of East Line Road?
Yes, correct. East Line Road.
And
Yeah.
how many homes will there be?
So the total site is 119 houses, but we built
19?
119. We built the first phase of the project, which is roughly 75 lots. We're actually only going to market 67 to start, just based on layouts and whatnot. But yeah.
So on the bond that you had to put up earlier, is there something in that wording about if the homes aren't sold within a certain amount of time that the bond is re-examined each year to bring it up to the cost of living?
Right now, I don't believe that our town code accounts for that. There's no escalator, as far as I know.
But in the past, we've had this issue, and I do not want to get involved with another issue if that isn't in there. I want it evaluated each year until it's totally sold off.
Yeah, so when we do the dedication part of that, one of the things that we're still waiting on is the letter of credit amount. When we have that letter of credit amount, which gets approved by the town and the TDE, we provide the town with a letter of credit from our bank,
Yep.
and it reserves for what the town wants reserved for, and that's in place every year until we finish the site. So not necessarily homes being sold, but top coating the road and things like that.
Right.
That's what I'm concerned
Yep.
about, because if there's any issues and we can't resolve them, we go back and forth, and some of these issues still aren't resolved, and then we go back to the paperwork and the bond and the sign-offs on it. And, I think some of these issues aren't even still resolved yet. So if you are granted this, I want to make sure everything's in place, including Roger's signature on the road, that he accepts it.
One other caveat to mention, though, also is no COs, no certificates of occupancy will be issued until the road is dedicated. So in the unlikely event that you actually complete a home
Right.
between now and April 6th.
Yeah, very unlikely. And like I said, my intention is to be back here April 6th for the full dedication.
dedication.
We have those two other things in place, so.
I think it looks like our town attorney might have a remark.
Well, no, I think you answered that second point, but certainly, Craig, if you're concerned, and our engineer is here as well, we can request that the Michaels Group provide a letter of credit with standard provisions for automatic renewability, but as well as an escalation provision, say in 5 years or an appropriate time determined by our engineer, that, that escalation provision would kick in and the amount of the letter of credit would be increased for the costs, at that time. Now, this isn't a ginormous or huge development, but, you know, I don't know what your total build-out time will be and what the market, saturation will be. So, that's really what it's designed to protect the town. And if we're gonna work with the builder, hopefully, that's something we could work on in the letter of credit.
Okay.
I would support it as long as Roger signs off on that, first of all.
Right.
I think that's fair. Right, Luke?
I mean, we're asking for a waiver before Roger sign off is what we're asking for tonight. Ultimately, when I'm back here in April,
Sign off on it, though.
yes, so, yep, and
So I would say yes, as long as he
Right,
signs off
I mean,
on it.
I'm hoping that before our next meeting on the 26th, I get a concrete
okay,
answer from him
Okay.
about whether or not the road is built to his satisfaction.
Okay.
So,
And this is just to clarify, you already are in the process of getting, for the model home, this permit already. So you're looking to grant the ability for you to build 10 more buildings during this time.
yes, prior to April 6th, yes.
I mean, legitimately, do you actually expect to be able to break ground in the middle of February right now if you were to get these waivers?
Yes, we typically build right through the winter.
All right.
Yep. If it gets real cold for a long stretch, then no. But typically, we can time it to be able to do it.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
any other
We got a
questions?
Cement plant, right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's no other questions or comments, I will, plan to work with the town attorney to put together some sort of waiver that would be mutually acceptable for our next meeting.
Okay.
So,
All
all
right.
right, thanks,
Thank
Luke.
you.
Okay, we have several action items for tonight's meeting. The first time, I have a walk-on resolution that we neglected to put on the agenda. It is something that we discussed at our prior meeting, at our agenda meeting. There is a project down on Chango Road, Tamian Pass, that the project includes as a benefit a multi-use path on Chango Road. And there, we would like to apply for a TAP grant, a Transportation Alternative Program grant and I am requesting that the board approve that Labella to apply for that grant on our behalf. The application fee, which is $12,000, will be paid for from the developer escrow for the project. As I say, we discussed it last time. It's simply the grant application. Is there any discussion, questions, concerns?
So, I haven't gone through this in full, but the grant is for 80%, is it, or?
It's an 80-20 grant, but part of our 20%
Yeah.
would be paid for by the developer.
Why isn't the whole thing?
I think the agreement was, part of it's just the estimate. Part of the agreement was that the developer would put up $129,000. Labella is proposing that it might cost a little more than that, so. I don't know.
Craig, so there's, not before you, but before the planning board, there's a condition that was imposed upon conditional site plan review.
Yep.
And that amount that would need to either be put in escrow, letter of credit, or bonded was agreed to be $129,000.
So it's fixed.
So, yeah, so that was in the approval. And that would cover that 20% and if I'm not mistaken, soft costs associated with the project. From that amount is what would, if you approve this, would authorize Labella to complete the application process and authorize the supervisor to sign any pre-application and application documents. So we're really doing two things. approving the Labella proposal and then authorizing the grant application to move forward. Yep, and I don't recall the exact amount, it is in the materials, but, the town, based upon initial, information from Labella, could be responsible for, I think it was approximately.
$50,000.
Yeah, $51,000. In the event the grant is, if we receive the grant and based upon current estimates, the town would be responsible for funding that to the extent of approximately $51,000.
For the 51,000.
Yes.
Okay.
If I can ask a follow-up question with that, does that mean that that $51,000 could fluctuate either above or below? It could be more, it could be less?
Well, yeah, my understanding of the way it's written is that, yes, it could be more or it could be less. Where in the proposal from the engineer, who's also here, that could possibly answer it more particularly, but based upon that, the amounts that are budgeted and could fluctuate, and that could result in additional costs of the town, subject to board approval.
I mean, part of it is when it actually is constructed,
Mm-hmm.
you know. The cost of construction could conceivably go up.
Assuming this
Overtime.
$51,000 amount, where would we be drawing that money from?
What,
Okay. I'm just curious because I'm not aware.
yeah.
So thank you.
One of the reasons that we're acting on this tonight instead of waiting is that the pre-application is actually due on January 15th. So in order to get the application in to move this forward this year, we kind of had to act on it tonight.
So you want to act on it now, right?
Yes, so I would entertain a motion to authorize the TAP grant application.
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
I have to recuse myself. I work for the New York State Department of Transportation. This involves them. I was instructed by my employer that I have to do this when issues like this occur, so I will not be voting on this.
When in doubt, recuse, so. Anything else? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we had the public hearing regarding the 2026 Sewer District Number 2 scale of charges. I'll entertain a motion to accept those. Okay,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we have resolution to approve a code enforcement officer education conference for Greg Berg and Wayne Hoffman.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Up next, we establish a temporary rate for our animal control officer. As we discussed last time, we have no deputy animal control officer and ability to actually hire one that's satisfactory, so we give a portion of that to our animal control officer.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? During our budget process, we approved a full-time recreation leader appointment. So this next one is to make said appointment.
So move.
Any discussion?
Yeah. How was the rate of $21.50 for an hour established?
We established it during the budget process based on our
And that
Schedule
gets
of-
us back to
Yeah.
our HR evaluation of all our jobs, and I am still interested in doing that at some point
well,
going forward.
as you will recall, we did not appropriate the funds for that in our 2026 budget.
Right.
But-
But I still think at some point it has to be done.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Next resolution is to hire a temporary water department employee. This gentleman was a temporary employee last year. We find that in 2026, we may still need his expertise and services on a very part-time basis, up to 10 hours per week. So I'll entertain a motion to hire Dave Wicks.
So move.
Any discussion?
Yeah, could you fill me in on the quantity of employees over there now?
We have,
Besides secretary? and-
well, we have our water superintendent.
Yeah.
We
Jamie?
have assistant water superintendent. We have one water
Training,
line distribution trainee
yeah.
who should shortly he's completed the
Coming on.
requirements for the certification. He will be changed to not be a trainee. And then this part-time Dave Wicks,
Okay,
as well as an admin.
thank,
Yep.
thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are proposing to enter into a contract with GoGov. This is a new contract, not one of the regular ones. It is a service that we will be able to offer mass notification to our residents on any number of issues, road closures, events, whatever anybody wants to sign up for. So this is a new contract that we did appropriate the money for in our 2026 budget.
So
Anybody?
moved.
Any discussion?
Second.
Oh, second, sorry. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Last but certainly not least is to approve the 2026 Malta Emergency Agreement, Malta Emergency with the Malta Stillwater EMS. This is a 2-year contract. It is in the first year, 2026, $515,000. In the second year, it is $450,000. Entertain a motion to
So moved.
accept that.
Second.
Just as an aside, we did get the approval, a verbal approval from the agency, Malta Stillwater EMS, that they accept the 2-year contract. I don't think I told our town attorney that yet, so now he knows. Any further discussion?
I assume that the funds we already appropriated the funds.
Oh,
in?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is actually, we have an ambulance district, so this money is appropriated through a tax.
Wonderful.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That ends our regular business. We now, at the end of our meeting, we have an opportunity for residents to have additional public comment. Nobody? All right, then. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Oh, yeah. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight. See you next time.